So we're taking a look at the brand new cards on opening day, and take a look at that running rating. 2-11, 2016. There's a treat. So here's an interesting card right over here. Jake Myers, he's a 1-2, E7, not too bad. He can kind of boogie there, 1-15. Got a couple of hits on his card. Jake Myers as a potential draftee. So what does Maldonado do? Well, he's got a couple of chippies on the left side. He strikes out an awful lot. What can he do? Take a look at his bunting and his hit and run. As a hit and run B, put in the right lineup, he might move some runners into scoring position. Okay, so what would you do with this guy? Like, what, win a championship maybe? Well, he's not exactly Stanton. You can't exactly play him in the outfield. He doesn't exactly run. You can maybe bunt the ball, but you'd be out of your mind if you did that. But look at that card. Look at that 2 column. Extra base hits on the other sides of the home runs. Right down and in there. He's on base. He's walking. He's starting rallies. Okay, basic. That's a loaded column over there, isn't it? Alright, so you need relief. You don't know where to turn. Maybe a lefty will work, maybe a righty will look, but take a look at Tyler Holton. He's blank against lefties, and against righties, well, not so bad. And he's got a few innings for you. Say goodbye to a classic. Miguel Cabrera goes out. And if you take a look, he gets rated at first base. He's pretty much maxed out over there. But he doesn't get a rating at third base, even though that he took a customary ground ball over there. A couple of little hits against lefties might be of some use over there. He can hit and run a little bit. There you go. Miguel Cabrera. Okay, so speaking of Detroit, what do you do with this guy? Javi Baez. You keep him? Do you trade him? Do you get a draft pick for him? Do you what? What do you do with this guy? Well, he goes up in the clutch. And I'm looking for, he can run? My, has he fallen? Kyle Bradish. Well, he's hurt, but how about that card? So are you going to jump on the Yenya Cano bandwagon? Is that what you're going to do? You see that closer rating? You're drooling? Okay, but what about that hold? What about that +4 hold? How much will that hurt? So before you overpay for somebody like Felix Bautista, take a look. That's a nice card, right? Until you get over here to that +9. That +9 hold in this year's set is going to mean something with all the base running. Charlie Morton. Oh no. Against lefties, everybody's getting on base, and against righties, everybody's getting on base, and no. Here's the definite maybe. Forget the left side. Look at Sam Hilliard's numbers. So I broke open the cards for opening day, and I'm looking for interesting cards. Here's one, Giancarlo Stanton. Look at the home run pattern he's got against lefties. Okay? And then take a look at it against righties. He's pretty much useless. He doesn't run. He's an E. He doesn't have a stealing rating. He's 1-8. Can't bunt. Can't hit and run. They gave him a 5, and they were kind with a 0 arm and an E3. But okay, so what does this guy do for you? Nothing. Eddie Rosario. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's talk about something. Let's talk about Matt Olson. Let's talk about that power card against righties. Look at that 3 column. 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Look at that. He strikes out. Who cares? He's got too much slug right there. Too much on base to worry about. And against lefties, not a problem. He still gets the ball out of the park, although not as good as against righties. You still can't take him out of the lineup, and he'll hit the occasional homer or he'll get on base for you. But the 1E8 and the lefty at first base, he can even hit and run if you're so inclined. That might come in handy if he's facing a lefty. I don't know about this guy. Maybe you know something I don't know. Somebody in my league traded this guy to a team for 2 Baseball America top 100 prospects. Okay, so you're looking for a relief pitcher. But in this set, I don't know if we have a lot of balanced righties. Here's one, Kevin Ginkel. He's got a lot of innings. He can maybe close a game or 2 for you, and he doesn't give up the home runs. Now, how's this for a card? I like it. How about Corbin Carroll leading off a game for you? 3-6, 1915 Sun Steel. He gets on base, pops a home run every now and then. He could do a little hit and run. He could drop a bunt for you. What can't he do? Is there anything he can't do? I don't know. But what about this fella? Okay, here's an important card. In his first full-time season, he's got the -4 arm. That's the neutralizer. That's the arm that's going to let you get away with some of these ridiculous high plus hold pitchers. This year it's going to be dangerous to have a plus guy, a guy who's +4, +3. You're in trouble, buddy. You're in trouble. Base hits are going to be up. Belton Brand. Brandon Belt. Belton Brand, that's what he does. He belts him. Belts him out of the park. Look at him against righties. He's back in form again. But get him out of the game. Can't run. He can maybe drop a bunt for you, but he's got a nice little card against righties, so that's an interesting option. His defense is down to a 4. He's on that decline bubble. But is this guy on the decline? Uh-oh, he lost his third base rating, and whoops, he lost his power against lefties? He's still an N, but where's the doubles? Do you see any homers? Against righties, a little bit better. Whoa. He doesn't have an awful lot of hit opportunities against righties. That makes him somewhat suspect being in the middle of your lineup. Shh, don't tell anybody about this guy. This guy here. You know this guy? Yeah, this guy here. Uh-oh, I hope it's not a trend in the set, but look at Aroldis Chapman. This is a strange card. What is this card? What do you see? Well, against lefties, he's a lefty. If he's getting out straight lefties, walk, 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 walk. A lot of strikeouts, so the base runners stop moving. Against righties, he's a reverse lefty. Except he's a home +9. So walk, walk, walk. If you get some lefties in against him, they're doubles. Pretty interesting, though, because the base runners absolutely stop dead cold. Look at all those strikeouts. Mad strikeouts. Aroldis Chapman. Hey Siri, can you tell me what today's weather's like? No chance of me dropping the ball. Psst. Second year in a row that this guy got a card. Problem, another one of those +7 holds. When is this guy? When is this guy going to pan out? When is he finally going to pan? Well, this is the year. You've been waiting for that card for ages from Robert Louis Stevenson over here, the master poet of a relief pitcher. Well, there you go. Strikeout, 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 strikeout. He's figured it out. But the best part of his card is he's got the minus hold. Okay? You can actually get in there and maybe do some damage in the 9th inning and strike some guys out for you. Hey, there's an interesting card if he's in your draft. Woo! Ric Flair would be proud of his right side of the card. I don't want to hear you crying. Quietly turning into one of the best catchers in this set, no? Alright, I'm sure that this guy was on your scrap heap at the end of last year, and he's probably sitting there in the draft just waiting for you to grab him up and make him your backup catcher. In center field, Julio can take it out of the schoolyard, out of the ball yard, out of any ball yard. And he runs, and he runs, and he gets on, and he runs. Who wouldn't want to have him leading off a draft? If you're lucky. How come this guy never gets a good card? Okay, so you need a card cheap, and you got to get through the season. What about Wilmer? So David Stearns never took the time to sign this guy. Eventually he walked after the end of the year, and Stearns was gone. But look at that card. What you got to love about that card is that the only thing that can happen is you can get to first base right there. Unless you go on the X chart against some pretty crummy fielders. But this guy does not give up the extra base hits, does not give up the power. Here's another rare Strat card. This is this year's brand new Shohei Ohtani. Take a look at him against lefties. Base runners stop dead in their tracks with all those strikeouts, only a couple of walks, and just a little bit of a homer issue over on the left side. Nothing to worry about. The right side, it's pretty close to blank except for a couple of walks. That's a pitcher's card. But wait, there's more. Just when you thought on the other side of Babe Ruth, there comes Shohei Ohtani. Look at this against lefties. He's a lefty, and he's still getting on base. Look at over that 3 column, and he's got power against the left side. And if we go over to the right side, look at all that power. If it's not power, it's extra bases, triples, and doubles. He doesn't strike out all too much, but look at that running rating right up over there. He's going to get a couple of bases, few extra bases there. How valuable is this card? This is a classic. Welcome to the club, Bobby Witt Jr. Look at that. He's got the 2E14 combined with that speed, 18-15. He gets the lead at 2-6 and 11. But look at him. He's dangerous. Against lefties, watch out. Against righties, watch out. Look at those middle numbers on the 6s and on the 7s. Those are 2 base advances right there. Triples and doubles. Couple of base hits. This is a card on to watch out for. Look at him with the 17 rating already. And if you have to play that game, he can be pushed up to a B with a speedy runner in front of him. Bobby Witt. After Ohtani, best card in the set? Well, he's probably the best second baseman in the set, but his primary position is still right field. But then again, he plays shortstop. But then again, what doesn't he do? Well, this year his stealing is down and his running rating is finally trending downwards to a 14. Beware. And his teammate JD, well, he had a pretty good power year, but you can't stick him out there in the field. And that's the end of the card preview. Go pick up those cards. I bet you can't wait to get them. And play some Strat, roll them dice.